They've always known that. And so do you agree with that or you disagree? Where did the Messiah here? Well, and that's the
The seashore,
because it's very well
the marketplace, and when he went into the synagogue, sometimes he tore the motherfucker up.
No, see, that's just it. The word Jew is a new word. That word was created about 200 years ago. All right, there was no J in the English language until 1634. But there's 8 Hebrew families. So which Hebrew family are we speaking of? See, that's what, and like the word Semitic, that's a made-up word. The man's name is not Shem. His name is Shem. And Shem was the father of many nations. As a matter of fact, Abraham, his uncles, his brothers, his fathers, the men of his tribe, they were all Hebrews. All right, so being a Hebrew doesn't mean that you're Israelite. This is the Hebrew Israelites. All right, you also have Hebrew Edomites. This is what they're called today. All right, let's shoot down to some more. Ishmael is also Hebrew. All right, Elam is also Hebrew. Ammon is also Hebrew. All right, Moab is also Hebrew. So they're more because Ammon and Moab are the sons of Lot. Was Lot not a Hebrew? Was he not Abraham's nephew? Right. So there you go. Here was his nephew. He was a Hebrew too. So there's more than one Hebrew race. So that whole by creating, see, there's something called Newspeak. All right, and Edomites, which is more than likely what you are, they're responsible for that. They created Newspeak, and Newspeak is when you take words and you give them new meanings. All right, so they made up that word Semite or Semitic. There's no such thing as Semitic. You get Japhet. All right, you get Ham, and these are the sons of Ham. These 4 right here, and you get Shem. So how do you take Shem and then say Sem? Right, exactly. So when you go into history, you learn, you start doing your research, you learn that the real Israelites was a dark race of people. The Jewish people, they are Hebrew, but they're not the Hebrew Israelites. They're Hebrew Edomites. They converted, and then the big conversion happened at around 740 AD, and that's probably hundreds of books written. 740 AD, King Bulan, he took his tribe. Half of them converted to Islam, and the other half of them converted to Judaism. And they did that to avoid, because the people in Turkey are the same people by blood as the people in Israel. The Ottoman Turks, the people who ended up taking over Turkey, they were Khazarians too. They were Khazars from the Khazarian Empire. Khazars. The last couple czars of Russia are actually Israelites. They did. They called commercials a crypto chip. So, and Judaism has nothing to do with the Bible. Judaism goes back to the Talmud. And Herodians, who, if you read the Bible, Herod was an Edomite. Nothing at all. The tribes of Israel worship the law, statutes, and commandments that are written in the Bible. Jewish people and Jewish rabbis, their number one book is the Talmud. And can I get Isaiah 34:16?
You just say go back every Sabbath. You say every Sabbath. Maybe next week we'll go into them.
Right?
And matter of fact, since he said that,
the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail.
So none of this gonna fail. None of the prophecies in the book, and no one should want to make. There is no book you can make of the Bible. So they'll say the Talmud and the Bible. Which no, that's a horrible mistake. That's called the Torah, and the Torah. And no, their book, the Bible is a front. They're Talmudists. They're Talmudists, and they've been Talmudists, and that's their number one book. The Talmud. The Talmud actually goes all the way back to ancient Babylon, man. That's an old Babylon. It's a Babylon. That goes way back, way before them, and they adopted those. See, Edomites, man, are not original. All they do is take other people's nationalities. No, no, no. The Herodians before Christ were worshiping the Talmud. All right? So, no, no, no. That goes way back. No. Their book is the Talmud. If you talk to any rabbi, they're going to say the base of Judaism is the Talmud. So, the scriptures, them holding on the scriptures, right. The Torah is a distraction so that they can look legit to the people who don't know, all these unlearned people that are walking. They try to legitify their falsehood with the scriptures.
I mean, even if you read the scriptures, man, the scriptures tell you in the law, don't cover the crown of your head.
Right, and then what do? They cover the crown of their head. Because they
wooden signs, the wooden signs.
In Leviticus.
So there's no way that they could be they could be following the scripture.
None of that, they fit none of the prophecies. They don't fit none of
Every single religion, no matter what sect it is, you can always look at something and say, well, you're not consistent with the Old Testament.
Bible take those things.
You can always say that.
No. But they're not consistent with the whole
Job
book.
30:30.
Matter of fact, read Revelation 2 and 9 and Revelation 3 and 9. Yeah, and before you read that, can I get Lamentations 5 and 2? Anybody got their sword? Lamentations 5 and 2.
Where was that in the Bible?
Probably a lot of things you haven't. It also says in the Bible it's the first to have pale skin. And they have yellow hair.
To have yellow hair.
That's a curse too.
It's First Corinthians 11:4. Every man prophesying, praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonor his head.
Right, so you're not supposed to have your crown. Your crown is here. They'll say it's the size, which is why they let their hair grow here. No, your crown is here. Remember when you talk about when the baby is being born, it's crowning because you see the top of his head, not the sides. This is your crown, and it's a circle because they worship Saturnalia. So that's all part of Judaism, not the Bible, man. So you got Lamentations 5 and 2.
Is there a name for this particular view?
We are the Hebrews that the Bible speaks of, the real Israelites. We're the real Israelites. That, like I told you, that word Jew is, we say that just so you can understand what we're talking about. But that's a made-up word. The letter J did not exist until 1634. Our agenda is to wake up the elect of our people. That's it. That's what the prophets will prophesy in the last days to do, to go out and let Israel know who they were, and also to let the heathens know who they are. Can I get that Lamentations 5 and 2, please?
That's why I get my pages a little.
Thank you very much.
Well, you need to hear these before you leave. I mean,
You say 5 and 2?
Lamentations 5 and 2.
This is Lamentations 5 and 2. Our inheritance is turned unto strangers.
Right, so the inheritance of the Israelites is turned into strangers. So when did the Jewish people have to come out on the streets and remind their people who they are? Can I get a Baruch 2 and 30, I believe? And then get that in Jeremiah 4 and 2 for the tribe of Judah itself. And then Revelation 2 and 9. The Bible, it's all in the Bible. The Bible says that we're going to be the next rulers in this society. And that's going to happen when America falls. And America's falling right in front of your face.
Luke 2 and 29. If you will not hear my voice, surely this great multitude shall be turned into a small number among the nations where I will scatter them.
Right, so we got scattered to the four corners through slavery, which is in the Bible, which the Jewish people don't fit. They actually control the slave trade. They own most of the ships. So they didn't get, and this prophecy said we were going to slavery on ships. That's in the Bible. That the Israelites were going to slavery on ships with yokes of iron and naked and in chains. So there you go. That happened to Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans at the hand of. Go ahead.
It says, for I knew they would not hear me, Salaki, for I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities,
and this being the main one, go ahead.
they shall remember themselves.
So when did the Jewish people once again have to come out and remind? Because according to them, they've always been the Jews. The prophecy said that they would get cut off from their heritage, they would get scattered, forget who they were, and then have to be reminded who they are in the last days and the latter days. This is the latter days, and that's the true doctrine, and that's what you're witnessing. Like it or not, believe it.
And in this verse 34, this is talking about the Lord. I will bring them into the land which I promised with an oath unto their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Not the British Empire, not the American Empire. So the Lord haven't taken them back from there. The Bible says when Israel goes back to that land, there'll be peace on earth. There's been more wars since they went over there because they are warlike people. Because first, and then it's also a prophecy that said that land would be divided between two people that don't belong there. Guess what's happening right now? There's two people in that land, and neither one of them belong there. So that's what the Bible says. So there you go, my friend. That's what we about.
I got another one. I got another one. Can I give him another?
That was a cut session,
Man,
boy.
he bleeding all over.
Chopped his ass up.
Got my shoes all bloody.
Big chop, boy.
This is Zechariah 9:6. And a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod.
The bastard. And one of the definitions for bastard, which has been removed from modern day dictionaries, is fake, falseness, and fraudulent. That's one of the meanings of bastard.
Zechariah 9 and
There you go, man.
6.
That's right.
9 and 6.